Okay, well in this video I want to spend some time to talk about placement of ads. What do you have to watch out for? Because if you've been a chiropractor for any amount of time, you know, and especially if you've been meeting with marketing reps, because I know when we started our practice there were all kinds of them coming in from radio and TV and print, and everybody has the best thing in the world, and if you just spend money with them you're going to get new patients, which is almost never true. But as far as print placement goes, what do you need to watch out for? I personally think that well, at least in our area, and I can't say it's for everywhere because I know it can be different in certain places, and you may have a special magazine of some kind, but magazine kind of periodicals where you're on the inside of it somewhere, you have an ad inside, even if it's a full page or 2 pages inside, I think kind of a waste of money. I didn't see that we got a return from that, no matter how much we spent or how many people they said it went to. Any kind of magazine that is put in a rack that's not actually distributed. I got to a point when reps would come in to try to tell us about something. If I said, I would just say right away, what is the distribution? Where does this go? And almost, half the time they'd say, well, we put it in the racks and people have to pick it up. I'm not doing it. I didn't care what else they had to say about it. I wasn't going to do it because I knew there weren't going to be enough people picking that up out of a rack for me to make back $1,000 or $1,500 that they were going to charge me for a full page ad. And I really wouldn't do an ad unless it was full page. I never saw when we did a half page or a quarter page or eighth of a page, these little tiny things. There's not enough room to tell enough story there, and we didn't get any patients from it. So it had to be full page, and it had to be on the front cover. If they said, well, we have the back cover, I'm not interested. Inside the back cover, I'm not interested. Inside the front cover, I'm not interested. Unless you're going to give me a massive discount. It just didn't work. Everything they tried to tell me, and I did them all. We did the back cover, inside the front, every possible place that you could put an ad, we put one, and I never saw that we got return unless it was on the front. And here's a story of that. I know we had this newspaper in our town that worked really well, and it was a free newspaper, but everyone got it. And we had to pay $2,000 for the majority of the front page, or we could pay less than that to get an even bigger ad on the back page. Well, there was another chiropractor in our town that wanted that front page, but we had kind of sealed it down in our area, and he was willing to do just about anything to switch from being on the back page to the front page because he knew we were getting 3 times as many patients as he was because he was in the back. So, again, you need to be front and center. There was one magazine that we advertised in, but it went to everybody in our whole county pretty much. It went out to like 100,000, over 100,000 people. And we could get the front page, and it was a really expensive ad. It was about $4,300, I think, for that one ad that ran one time. And the first time we did it, I ran the wrong kind of ad. I ran a branding kind of ad. And guess what? We got 0. We got nothing. I think we might have got one okay patient that came in. I don't even think they started caring. The next time that we did it, we put my wife's picture on there, who again was kind of famous because she was in all of our ads that we did. And we had a little bit more of a story and offered a talk that she was doing about weight loss. And we got, my goodness, we had to actually have a staff member sit in the back of our office and just answer phones all day because the phone never stopped ringing the entire day. I think we got over 200 phone calls from that one ad, and we booked out like 4 or 5 talks over the next month. It was just jammed. So that's how big a difference you can have by running the right or the wrong ad. And sometimes you don't know. I honestly didn't know that ad was going to do as well as it did. And I really would have told you that the first one was going to work the best, so you have to test a little bit to find out. But it has to be on the front cover. If you're in a newspaper of any kind, you need to get to the front somewhere. Or page 3A is what's typically 2A or 3A. Right when you open the front page, right there on the right-hand side of that first page there. I think that's 3A, but I could be wrong on that. So that's where you want to be in a newspaper if you're going to be inside, and you need to have a big ad. What you'll see is if you have a small ad, or you have a half-page ad or a full-page ad, you'll see that the numbers will go up almost exponentially as your ad gets bigger. And sometimes, I guess we found there wasn't really a huge difference between a full-page ad or a half-page ad, But there's a huge difference between a smaller quarter or eighth page ad and a half page ad. It's just giant. So always I would say default to the bigger. So if you're going to do print advertising successfully, you have to be able to and willing to spend some money on it. I think what I saw happen to a lot of chiropractors in our town when we were practicing is, I would say we were kind of marketing leaders in our area, and people were watching what we were doing a lot. And I would see when we would do something, I would see other people doing similar things, kind of trailing behind. But they always did it smaller, and they did it in different places. And I know that my wife and I would talk about it, and I would say that person's going to stop doing that within the next 2 months because I know that's not going to work. And they did. They would stop. So, and I didn't want them to fail. Honestly, I would have been happy if they would have come over and talked to us about it. But it can be very easy to lose a lot of money in this type of marketing. So please, really pay attention to things I said in the first video, and as well as the second and the third, the one that I'm doing right now. Each of these little pieces are important. And what you'll find with all marketing is the devil is in the details. It's the details that make the difference between massive success and total failure. And what happens to so many people that we've worked with over the years is that they say, oh, I'm going to do this, and they skip over these little pieces and they move down over here where it's more fun. They've missed the essential pieces that made it successful, and they haven't done it long enough to realize that those little tiny things are the things that will determine whether they are successful or not. Whenever we would make an ad, I would set it down, we would call our whole staff back, and the whole staff knew they could criticize it in any way they wanted, because I wanted their feedback, and I would show it to patients in the office, and I would say, this is what I'm thinking about doing right now, what do you think about this? And a lot of times they would look at it and they say, I don't like that, why did you put that there? And then, it would make me realize, and my wife and I would realize, okay, we need to make some changes there. So we'd make those adjustments, show it to everybody again, and we'd give them a couple examples. And we would have them pick it for us, because I know, if I had my opinion, I value, but, if 10 or 15 other people can show me that, this is going to work better because this is what they're all picking, that's going to be the right choice then for that ad. So, again, I hope that the things on this page help you. And if you have any questions, you're certainly welcome to try to ask. This is a free website, so I don't dedicate my entire life to it. We do a lot of things with our website business as well, and that keeps me pretty busy every day. But I wanted to try to give back some of the things that we did while we were practicing, and hopefully it can help you in some way, and you don't have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for it. So have a great day. Listen to the things that I put in here, put them into your practice, and I know you'll see a lot of success with it.